Alright, hello everybody, this is Chompsky. We are, or should be, live streaming. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that before we get started. And then we'll post the links in the Discord and on to X before we jump into the indicator tuning. Alright, let me jump on YouTube real quick just to make sure we are live. And it looks like we're live. Yes, we are. I'm going to go ahead and play some music in the background. Post the link onto X here. I'm doing that. Give this disclosure, risk disclosure a gander. And I'll post this right here. Good to go. All right. All right, so before we get started, real quick here, I hope everyone had a good weekend. Last week was it was an interesting week. We had a kind of a news-heavy week, so it was kind of weird, a little bit in the middle, but overall, it ended up being a really good week. The indicators paid off. It looks like the tuning paid off. I only could tune the CWAP and the what is that? The shark fin indicators, because I'm working on a new version of the bands. As you see right here, they are a little tiny bit different. They still function largely the same. I took a couple of things, tweaked a few bugs out of it, and I'm changing the brushes to where they print just a lot smoother overall. So let me make sure I'm unmuted. I think I'm unmuted. Yeah, I'm unmuted. Yeah, okay. Someone said I was muted. I don't think I'm muted. If I'm muted, let me know if you can't hear me. Alright, yeah, so anyways, looks like we wrapped up with a 170 point surplus on the CWAP and the shark fin for the week on our tuning. Can't complain about that. I did miss a couple trades on the last day, unfortunately, that were beautiful, beautiful CWAP trades. Oh, sorry about that. I had to reach over and grab some stuff. Yeah, so this one right here, I missed this one, and I missed another one on Friday right here. My bot just wasn't turned on to take it right. I had a filter on. Then I had to turn off, so I hope someone else caught them because I didn't. Opening up with a huge gap today, and that is the way that goes, but unfortunately that means we're probably going to see some downside. And this thing is just dropping like a rock. So I don't know exactly what news article hit. I haven't really been in the news cycles this weekend. I just kind of took it easy. And so my CWAP indicator, it looks like it's projecting a really aggressive target right now, all the way down to here. I hope that's wrong. I assume at some point we'll try to fill this gap up here at the 62% area. It's just too tempting of an area. It may do something aggressive down first. I don't know. This is the 4-hour chart, just in case anyone's wondering. I assume we'll probably test this zone here one more time, possibly down to here, before it comes back up and maybe fills this gap right here. And the way it's acting right now, we've had a lot of weird flash crashes like this already this year, and I don't know if it's just the Trump markets or what, but it does seem to happen when he's in office more. So maybe that's it. I couldn't tell you. I would just say we'll do our best to tune to it. That's not a bad thing. I'm kind of glad we waited to tune because this is huge. That drop's huge. And it didn't even try to fill the gap. It just took a drop and just sank like a rock. So it tells me right there there's a lot of momentum in the selling. Right now, yeah, target's even bearish, even though it's a bullish target. It's pink, so it's bearish. And so we're looking at the CWAP. I'm going to go ahead and put on 10 days as our tuning factor. This is not the right chart. Sorry. We'll go over here. I'll let it load. I shouldn't have touched that. Okay, there's our chart. Alright, so CWAP, oh yeah, no, CWAP's still sitting at 76%, so I'll probably leave that. I'm still going to change it to 10 days. See what 10 days gives us on that target. Alright, so 68. That's fine with me. I'm going to run with that on my CWAP. 75% on the shark fins, but it does drop quite a bit on the 5 days, so I may adjust the shark fins just a little. I don't know. And then I did do some changes on the bands, so I tell you what, I'm not going to complain about any of these numbers right now, especially the bands. I didn't realize how good they looked. The only one I don't love right now is the momentum signals. I am digging the 65% win rate, almost, well, it's about 7 to 1 or 0.7 to 1 on the risk to reward ratio on the second entries, and that's the one I usually use. It's at least close to a break even. I might leave it right there for now and just adjust the momentum. Let's see if we can't get the momentum going, because that's really what I want to. That's what I want to see, especially with this selling off like this. I want to see if we can't tap into some good momentum signals that'll beat the CWAP. So we'll scroll down here to the momentum. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the ADX filter. Let's see if that isn't hindering good signals or helping. Well, there you go, it helped. But that's only 10 signals, so we need to get more signals going. I just don't like that sample rate over 10 days. And to get more signals, what do we want to adjust first? We're going to adjust the... We'll put this back on for now. I might come back and play with that again, but first, we're at a 50 tick and 50 tick win rate and stop loss. I guess the first thing I need to do really is see what kind of signals this thing's calling right out of the gate. And to do that, we want to adjust the take profit and stop loss from 50 ticks to 60 ticks. And let's see what that gives us. And that way we know, like, if we widen the stop and the profit target just a little bit more, are we calling good trends, or are we getting nuked out of trends that we wouldn't want to be in? And if we take it to 65, look at that, we get a 66% win rate. 7 wins, 3 losses. So we're calling good trends. That's what it's telling me. But we're also getting nuked out of them on the smaller money management stop loss side. So if we go back in time just a few, we'll see what we're talking about here. It's the golden triangles. And where is a golden triangle at? There's one here. So this one obviously lost. Well, what we'll do is we'll turn on the exit just to see if it lost, because we did crank that up quite a bit. And it may have actually won, so we'll see the momentum at exit. That's what we want to see. And that one did lose. Barely, but it did lose. So that one would have been a loss. Let's see what else we have. There's a winner. Right there, that golden bar. That's a momentum signal, and it exited right up here. It says MOM band with the W right there, and it clocked up to 71% at that moment, so it did pretty good recently. That other loss knocked it down to 66, so we'll just have to check out a few more recent ones. We didn't have any the day before. That's pretty disappointing. But that makes sense. Probably had a couple on a different day. Let's see here. And another day without any signals that I'm seeing, unless I skipped it. And I don't see any on this day either. So I'm starting to think that maybe we just had a few on a certain day that did really well. And that's always something I check for just to make sure. There's one here. Oh, that was a good signal. And here. Oh, those are both good signals. I was kind of expecting something else. Well, they both called pretty good runs in my opinion. Oh, there's one here. Okay, so yeah, that one's right into the... Where is that signal? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so yeah, entered here, retraced and missed it, and then came back. So yeah, that's where those are getting stopped out if you have a tighter stop. Gonna say at this point, I think I like these signals where they're at, but I want to make them... I want to make the sample size bigger. 7 wins, 3 losses. I want to see a bigger sample rate, just slightly bigger. We do have a few here and there that did really well, but I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe we're just kind of getting lucky here. That one didn't get stopped out. I thought it did. Didn't it? Earlier? Did we look at that and it got stopped out, or am I just making that up? There's another, yeah, there's another one. So yeah, maybe this is worth keeping them. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save the bands at where they're at so I can post this in the Discord if you want to check it out. It's on the MNQ Live price action channel. If you have the bands and you want to use that template, do so at your own risk. I do not guarantee that this will work throughout the week. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'll post all the charts in there. I do encourage people to use demo mode before anything. See how it works, see if you like it. Let's keep tweaking. I think we can get more trades and maybe a little higher of a percentage of a sample rate before we commit to this one. And then I'm going to leave these. I'll post all the the CWAP and the shark fin as well. I'll post those in the chat, and we'll use those going forward as well. Now another thing I can do is I can use a time filter here to limit my window of trading, and I've done that in the past, and I'm tempted to do it again here just to really cut out those weaker nights and things where the price doesn't move worth a darn. But before I try that, let's try this. And I gotta remember this is 65 and 65, so if I do, I might use that as a filter, a confirmation filter for my CWAP signals if I use momentum on them instead. I'm tempted to do it that way. And that way the momentum has to kind of be the guiding factor instead of vice versa like I do in the past. Those are all reversals. So to change some things here, I'm going to first change the BPMs. I'm going to open them up. It's 2 and 17 now, so what I'll do is I'll make it 0, and let's go to like 21. And this might change everything. I don't know. Yeah. Wow. So we do get a much higher sample rate, that's for sure. But we also dropped quite dramatically in our total win rate here for a 1-for-1. And I'm not doing somersaults over that, to be honest. Let's see if we drop that back down to 20. Maybe it's just too hot at 21. I didn't really cut anything off, so let's make this at least 1. I guess when the BPMs are 1 sometimes. It's pretty funny. So they're really slow. Yeah, okay, there we go. So a BPM of 1 or less is actually losing, it looks like. And you can check that just by putting 0 here and 1 here on the max. And a lot of times when you do it that way, it does end up kind of spelling it out for you. So we'll see when it loads here what it comes out to. And that can't be right. Is that telling me that we're 5 wins, 3 losses there with a 0 to 1 BPMs? Why? That doesn't make any sense. So it's basically, it's somehow saying we increase. 56, but when we do this, we limit that to 1. I guess it just averages out that way. Because you have a higher sample rate, and that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, okay, that's why. So you really don't have a losing rate between 1 and 0. It's just not a really high winning rate. So 2, it looks like, also has a decent rate, so let's check that out. Something bumped it up to 60%. I assume it was... Wow, yeah, no, 2's sucking. Well, let's try 3. Something in here is doing well. That one's doing pretty good. 0 to 3. Let's go 0 to 10. And the bars per minute, just in case anyone wanted to know, that is how many bars are printing per minute. And on our Renko chart, that can help you determine if the price action is kind of basing more off of news, or maybe something that's really high energy that's in the market going on at the moment, versus something more or less low volume, low energy. And it's just a different way to measure momentum. And that's how I like to do it. Maybe it's not the best way, but I do like to do it that way myself. So let's see here. Yeah, I don't hate this setting here. I bet you if we change this to 3, we end up with start the music back. Yeah, so we do end up with 50% win rate. That's kind of disappointing. Let's change it to, we'll change it to 4 here on the low end. And it's actually a loss somehow, just barely. Or losing win rate is what it says, but it's not even calculating one of the trades fully. And let's see here. That's not very many trades. Kind of like, I keep hitting that. I kind of like it stuck here at 0 to 20. It seems like there's something going on there at the lower BPMs that is helping, so we'll leave it there. I thought maybe we could find the magic button, but it doesn't seem like it. Let's see, minimum and maximum tick separation. There might be something here from 75. Let's bump that maximum tick separation up to 100. And it does look like we did something. In fact, it went to 59% on the win rate. I'm not hating that. Let's try 125, because things have been getting very pushed up to the limit here lately on the momentum. And it looks like that doesn't do us any good. Maybe 105. Let's see if we get anything in there. That's basically the same at 100. And then the minimum tick separation, we'll go to 50 just to see what that does. Maybe take out those ranges for it. Yep, took out some range areas, and it makes the win rate 66 with a 9 win to 4 loss ratio. Let's drop it back down to 35 and just see what that gives us here. Yeah, puts us right about a 60% win rate. Tempted to go back to maybe 20, 25. That's just the sample size is bigger. Your point wins overall are bigger. I like it a little more just overall. We'll just go ahead and check. I want to see what it's been doing the more recent times here. Win, loss, win, loss, and win. So we're getting some good wins and a few losses here and there. That's a loss. Not a terrible trade, but overall loss. So win here and then a loss here, which is interesting. Oh, here's the win. So he does win and then loses right afterwards. Loss. No, a win. 2 wins. Called here. We're not getting horrible trades. It's not my favorite in the world, but if you happen to be taking these trades and had a decent setting and in your Predator bot, if you're using it, you could easily have these auto trigger to break even and then start a runner after so long and hopefully get some money out of these. If you have runners, it looks like there's one there that would have taken a few running points, or could have. A winner. Okay, so this is the last few days. I feel pretty good about these. And it looks like earlier in the week there were some really good win streaks going on. 17 wins to 11 losses overall. CWAP is still the champion at almost 70% win rate right now. It's sitting with 30 wins, 14 losses. And shark fin is sitting 9-3, so I can't complain too much. I am tempted to adjust the shark fin just because the last few signals weren't great. But I think it holds a fair chance here, if I'm not mistaken. I would just probably not start with those. I'd wait till it hit a bottom on the 4-hour chart somewhere I thought was a good target, and then maybe switch over to, you know, a more choppier market signal like the shark fin would be for me. And I think that's how I'm going to play it. Right now I'm really leaning into the CWAP. That just looks so tempting. And honestly, these reversals don't look terrible. If they end up kind of playing out like the historical information here, they could be really good too. I just don't know. I'm really feeling the momentum at this point with that bar down on the 4-hour. That's how I'm going to aim at it. I'll go ahead and I'll post these, and I hope everyone has a great week trading this week. Just so you know, the signal tunings are no guarantee. They're based off of pretty much perfect entries. So take that with what it's worth. And what I mean by that is the entry here for this signal will be exactly at the close of that bar. So if there's slippage anywhere in your entry, you have to account for that. It does happen. Sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be bad. Just depends on how it is, unless you're entering with a limit. And then sometimes you might not get filled on a limit. So that's kind of just the way it is. My shark fin was beautiful right there. But you gotta take it for what it's worth, and so just want to make sure everyone knows what they're looking at when they look at these. So I really wish everyone success, and I hope everyone has a great week. All right, guys.